All right, so today we are going to talk about balanced meals. And that is because we had some comments about using sugar for kind of energy or using carbs or, sweets kind of giving you the pick me up and then coming to the conclusion that that's a very short term fix. And I want to talk about how you can kind of keep your energy levels good all day. Okay, so we're going to learn about carbs and what to eat with them. Okay, so this is something the government put out that is actually not like as crazy as the food pyramid. That was not very smart. Have you guys seen this before, My Plate?
I don't know if I have.
Okay, so they simplified the food pyramid at some point and made this kind of what you should think about for eating. Okay, so your plate should look something like this. So you have a quarter of protein and a quarter of grains. That's sort of optional, and then half of it should be like fruits and vegetables. Okay, so again, everybody's different and you all have to find what works for you, but this, as far as energy goes, I feel like this is a pretty good deal. Okay, and so we'll talk about why that is. So basically, if you eat carbs by themselves, you tend to again get that sugar spike and then a drop that's going to bring your energy levels low. And so you can not have that crash by just not eating as many carbs. That's one option to go with. Or you can also be smart about what you have your carbs with. So if you eat kind of in this way, you've got the balance. And we're going to talk about the particular elements that make it balanced and good for keeping your blood sugar steady. So basically, and so this goes for meals, but also think about it for snacks. Okay, most people, okay, maybe you'll have a nice balanced plate for your meal, but then when you go for a snack, is it like just an apple? Is it just one piece of that, or worse? Is it just a candy bar? Okay, but as far as keeping the blood sugar more steady, if you eat your carbs with protein or fiber or healthy fats or a combination of all three, you're going to, what all of those things do is that it slows the rate at which the carbs are going to break down and increase your blood sugar. So I know we said, it's nice to kind of get that quick surge and, ooh, okay, I'm tired, I'm going to eat this whatever to wake me up, right? But that's going to bite you in the butt in the long run, okay? So what you want is that the blood sugar is going to rise more slowly, and then the insulin comes in to bring it down, but you don't want either your blood sugar or your insulin to be too high. And I don't know if you remember, but we talked about when your insulin is in your bloodstream, it's sort of, this is simplifying things, but it's almost like turning a switch to say, don't burn any fat until it's into normalized levels. I don't know about you, but I'd rather walk around as a fat burning machine than have that switch turned off. Okay? All right. So we said protein, fiber, or healthy fats. So we're going to kind of go through each one of those, talk a little bit about what the foods that have those things are, and then a little bit about how you might like structure your meals to make sure you're eating this way. So protein, obviously we have meat, we have fish, eggs, and dairy products. Also beans and nuts and seeds, that type of thing. So, so in your plate here, you have your little whatever, they usually say 4 ounces at a time of meat or fish, but, I'd rather see you have excess this than excess that, probably, okay? So if you're having a meal, that's kind of obvious, like it's easy to have maybe base it around having steak or chicken or fish or whatever, you know. But what about like snacks? Like a lot of people don't necessarily think to include meat in their snacks. And again, we're not talking about like snacking through the day, but you know, not like, oh, I need my morning snack, I need my evening snack. But you know, some people eat a little bit more that way, where it's not a whole lot at a time. So just giving you some ideas of if you need like a pick-me-up during the day, that instead of just going for the soda, you know, like, ooh, that's like even better because it's the sugar and caffeine together, right? But, and even if you do that, you can do yourself a favor by adding something with it. Oh no, just don't do the soda. Okay, but if you've seen those like tuna or salmon pouches you can get, or they have maybe like a little can, like a little kit that has, might have some crackers to stick the tuna on or something like that. But something like that is like a little more balanced than, you know, just having the carbs alone. Hard-boiled eggs are another great thing if you're, you know, kind of like in between or whatever. And if you go to, or like say you're on the road or whatever, and you're, you know, you're not going to stop for a full meal, but you know you need something. So you go to Sheetz or Wawa or whatever, and they have those little packs of hard-boiled eggs. Sometimes like the red beet eggs or just regular hard-boiled eggs, but you know, not a bad choice. And also like beef jerky, or like those like healthier than a Slim Jim type of meat stick. Like if you go in the organic section, you can find some decent, you know, I guess they call them meat sticks, or but you know, those are some good ideas. Or even a cheese stick. Those are some ways. Let's talk a little bit about yogurt, because that's a whole can of worms. So if you're looking for kind of maybe a better choice for yogurt, you definitely want to get the Greek, and I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff out there now. There's like Icelandic. I haven't actually looked at those real well, but I believe those are also higher protein. But kind of your basic like regular not Greek yogurt is not going to have that much protein, and it's probably going to have a lot of added sugar. So if you're picking yogurt, you want to be looking for higher protein and lower sugar. And ideally, as far as not getting that sugar spike and all of that, you would get a non-flavored yogurt, and just plain, which is hard for people to stomach, right? Usually, but you can like kind of wean yourself if you want to towards that. I eat that every day, but I like put enough stuff in it to make it taste, you know, like that. I don't feel like, oh, this is so sour. But so I put some kind of fruit. Sometimes I'll put like frozen fruit, and then it like the juice part of it, when it unfreezes, kind of makes it a little bit sweeter. I like adding unsweetened coconut flakes. That helps, and nuts help too. So those are some thoughts on that. Or honestly, I feel like if you were to just buy the unflavored, and even take like 1 teaspoon of honey is about 4 grams of sugar. And if you did that, and that was sweet enough, again with some fruit or something like that, you're better off than just buying the pre-made kind. So
That's interesting, because I thought I was doing like making a good choice when I would do like Greek yogurt with a couple pretzels, like sometimes for an afternoon snack.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It's like
A
the
flavored
Greek,
one.
but it's flavored. Yeah.
No, because that has enough protein in it to
Okay.
sort of counteract the rest of the carbs.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, again, I'm giving the ideal is to not have the pre-sweetened kind, but usually, like I believe at some point a nutritionist told me that the Chobani yogurt, the little regular size, has like 5 grams of added sugar, which isn't horrible.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So other ideas on things that you can do for either your snacks or meal places to get your protein. I don't know how y'all feel about cottage cheese. I know a lot of people, there's a texture issue there.
I like cottage cheese.
Yeah. They tend to be pretty high in sodium. I once, I think, accidentally bought a no sodium one, and it was, oh my.
If you make your own.
Yeah.
You make your own cottage cheese? Oh my gosh.
I should say I don't do it.
Okay. Well, we'll have to
Whole
talk
thing
later
melting.
about how to do that.
But yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
we're going to do that. It takes a little time.
Yeah, oh yeah, I bet, yeah. As I mentioned before, like string cheese is nice and convenient. There's also something out there called cheese curds. Have you seen these?
I love it.
You love them? Yeah. I mean, they just look like,
I'm different. Yeah, that's what I was used to.
Yeah.
growing up, so.
yeah, they're just like individual
Yeah.
little like
Yeah.
balls of cheese.
But yeah, a little bit different. They're not quite, like they're kind of like between cottage cheese and cheese. Like
Yeah, it's
they're like in between.
yeah, it's not runny or
The
whatever
way-
like
the way-
cottage
Yeah.
cheese, but
And I
yeah.
think I've seen them at the store. It's like all seal packed and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
John has them sometimes,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, or those little baby bell cheeses, like all of these are things that, like I want you to get in the mindset like, oh, if I'm gonna have a snack where I need to add some protein, like just throwing out ideas of things that you could use for
Can I
that.
do like, let's say, I like those like mozzarellas, like
Yeah.
there's string cheese, whatever.
Yes.
I get whatever, Nature Promise and stuff.
Hmm.
Is it okay to have like a couple prunes with that?
Absolutely.
Because like cheese is a little, I mean I like cheese, but I like like a little bit
The
salty and a
sweet
little
and
bit
the,
sweet.
yes, no, that's great. And there again, if you just ate your prunes, although I'm sure they're very full of fiber.
Yeah.
But it is nice to get
It's just
the-
the sweet.
protein
Yeah.
along with, instead of
That's
just a
kind my
piece of fruit.
favorite snack. Like,
That combo,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, as long as we're on that topic.
Or
I'll-
raisins and walnuts. Says Michelle. Okay.
Yeah, it is a nice combo.
It's just
And
I'm salivating. That's how my brain works. I don't know.
well, someone told me about this. I had mentioned to you guys before that I like dates if I need something sweet. But then somebody told me that they put peanut butter on dates, which is again another like you've got a little more protein than with your. Because, okay, so dates, I would not say, although they do have fiber, but again, I wouldn't just eat them alone. I don't think that's a good idea. I do that sometimes if I'm going out for a run, but
Mhm.
but that's about it, because I know I'm gonna
Yeah.
use it up right away. So, okay, so oh, and one other little note on cheese. Usually, the fat-free cheese is not very satisfying. You don't
Yeah.
really feel like you've eaten.
Get more
So,
calories eating that. And more.
yeah, so it's probably gonna make you wanna eat something else after that, so I wouldn't necessarily fret the fat in the cheese, so. And then also like ways to add in some more protein would be with beans, like black beans or, chickpeas, so like if you're making a salad or you're making a wrap, that would be a way to like throw some extra protein in there. And nuts also, will have some protein, like not as much as fish or something like that, but you have to remember with nuts that they're very calorie dense, so a little bit goes a long way with that. So. And also they're not all created equal with protein, like for instance, pecans are very low in protein, so if you're looking for your protein, that's not where I'd go to, but yeah. Do you guys have any other suggestions on things that you do for protein?
What about peanut butter? I mean, I know you can't have a lot of it, but like
Yeah.
peanut butter and apples.
Yes, that's a very good combo. Like
Yeah.
peanut butter and any kind of fruit or, yeah.
And banana.
And even, if you're gonna put it on bread, I would do like a whole grain bread versus,
Yeah.
but yeah. Oh, and banana, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good combo. I like that you're thinking combos.
I'm not into
Things
this
like
water
that.
thing, like peanut butter. I'm okay. I'm not allergic, but it's just like. So what would be like apple with cheese then, or?
Oh, if you don't want, yeah, or apple with nuts, or apple
Yeah,
with
okay.
cheese is good, yeah. Or even the, like the
I mean, I
meat,
have a jar
meat
at my
stick.
work, like peanut butter. Yeah, I think almond butter, peanut butter, and
Mhm.
it's just there. I forgot. I thought
Yeah.
something else, and I opened it like, hey, well, it's just. I forgot it was there.
Yeah, they make something called, I think they call it sun butter too,
They
like
all kinds of
sunflower
stuff,
seed.
yeah.
It's really good. I've
Yeah.
had
I
it
know.
before. Yeah.
You know what? Halwa. It's a dessert. Like it's like a. I don't know. But it's sugar. It's a lot of sugar.
Okay.
And when I was a child, you know, it's I think it's like from Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Dessert. It's like,
Okay.
it's made either with like almonds or sunflower seeds and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
Okay.
And a lot of sugar, whatever. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know how they make it. You know, I've never done it myself. But I remember my childhood macadamia sunflower. Oh, it was so good.
Is it kind of like almost like a granola where they're mixed together like that?
No,
or-
no.
Okay.
I'll look at. I mean,
Okay.
I'll send it. Just
Okay.
Yeah, again, it's all like, yeah, because closer to Europe, so we eat a lot of it.
Okay. All right. So we kind of covered some areas where you could get some protein. But the next one up is going to be fiber. One thing I will say, I'll preface this whole discussion with, so the recommendation for fiber is like 25 to 35 grams a day, and most Americans tend to get 14 or less. And so I want you to be excited about increasing your fiber intake, but don't go too gung-ho if you're in the 14 and below category currently. Because if you very quickly up your intake, your stomach is not going to take that well, and you're going to get a lot of like gas and bloating and discomfort, and make the people around you uncomfortable as well. So just, try to increase that gradually. But so where are we going to get fiber? So you can get it in fruits, which is why, there's a difference between eating an orange and drinking a soda. Like an orange does have a high sugar content, but at least it has some fiber with it. So that in itself is going to, as I said, like decrease the rate at which it turns to glucose in your blood. But at the same time, I would say the amount of fiber in that is not enough. I would still pair that with something else, okay? Another protein or healthy fat. So personally, I don't recommend just having fruit alone as
I
a
have
snack.
to change that because I just eat a lot of tons of fruit.
All by itself.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
prepare it for something.
I mean,
I can eat like tons of apples.
yeah.
Oranges, whatever.
I mean, as I said, everybody's
And
different.
then
You
just
gotta
want
find.
more. But it's kind of like more like a juice too. I don't drink juices, but I drink
Yeah.
water and
Yeah.
have fruit.
Yeah. Yeah. Personally,
It
I
doesn't
feel.
fill me, it just
Yeah, like if you,
Definitely, it's not- it's just
you
like
eat
a-
an apple or whatever, and you're getting good nutrients. Like I don't want to like discourage anybody for that, but I'm just saying. So like backing up to my, like the 80s, okay, when I first started getting like more interested in nutrition and stuff, and of course then the message was like no fat. So I would actually gravitate to carbs a lot, and I know that the way I felt back then, I mean, I was very much in these blood sugar highs and lows, and I would get to the point of like being shaky and things like that, and so now, since I have like switched over to this more balanced thing, I just know my energy through the day is so much better than that, and I don't get that that craving of like, or that like super hunger that I would have gotten if I like just had an apple and then like an hour later oh my god, I'm dying, so that's, I'm kind of going with my experience, and also like, scientifically what we know about what's going to keep your blood sugar steady. But again, figure it out for yourselves too, but throwing some things out there. So vegetables are another good source of fiber, and one vegetable that stands out, I don't know if you like these or not, but Brussels sprouts actually have a lot of protein in them too compared to other vegetables, so kind of get bonus for that one too. And then another thing would be whole grains. So and you probably know, but if you're in the bread section and you see whole wheat bread, unless it says 100% whole wheat or 100% whole grain, they probably have like this much whole wheat in it, and the rest of it is enriched white flour. So be careful of that. But and you know, obviously looking at the fiber content of the bread is helpful. There's pastas out there that now are made with like lentils and chickpeas and things like that. So they're going to be higher fiber pasta, which is going to be helpful. And if you're looking at wraps, they do make a lot of like low carb tortillas that have more fiber in them. So there's options out there if those are the types of things that you like. And then things like pretzels, chips, crackers, usually very little fiber in them. I mean, you might be able to get something whole grain pretzel or something like that, but probably not that much. But you know, I mean, pretzels are good and chips are good, right? So my recommendation with that is that if you want that, again, little my plate thing, like pair it with something. So if you're gonna have tortilla chips, try maybe have it with salsa with black beans in the salsa. Okay, so then at least you've got some fiber from the salsa, the veggies in the salsa, and the black beans would have the protein and fiber in it too. And also, like, it's easier to sort of see that as like a little mini meal then, and like maybe take 10 chips in your thing, and you'll be like more satisfied versus like, I'm gonna open this bag and I'm gonna eat until I don't feel like eating anymore, which is, you know, usually a little too far down the bag when that happens. Yeah, pretzels, even, I mean, this isn't the best thing, but it's not like it'd have fiber or anything like that, but even like to dip them in mustard or something that's gonna slow you down from just eating handfuls of pretzels. So, or use it to make make your own sort of trail mix. Like, so put some pretzels in with some nuts, you know, so that you're you know, you have that combo. And okay, so let's see, where else are we on fiber? So for like in sandwiches, so you can think about, that's a good place to add in other things like avocado is one thing that would also be good for that. And like chia and flax seeds, if you like that, you can add that to things like into salads and sandwiches. Let's see, roasted chickpeas. Do you guys have an air fryer?
Our oven has that feature.
Oh yeah.
But I need to figure it out. Like, do you have to use a special pan?
In your oven? for
Yeah.
it? I can't answer that question. I know with the air fryer, it has like kind of like holes, is like an
Yeah.
inner thing that you put it in that has some, so you get the airflow.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out with the oven. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I don't
how
know.
to figure that out.
Get your manual out.
Yeah.
But so the chickpea, like all those snacks that are better for you cost so much, I feel like, if you like try to buy them in the organic section. But I found out that using the air fryer to roast your own chickpeas, like they really turn out well, because in the oven it's hard to get it quite right. So and then popcorn also works for fiber. So okay. And then just very quickly then on the healthy fats that comes from things like avocados, guacamole, olive oil, eggs, again, the chia and flax seeds, and in nuts you can, you know, so those are other ways that, you know, just think about ideas of how you can kind of pair your meals to have elements of all of these so that we can keep the blood sugar steady throughout the day and not be looking for that quick fix that's gonna drop you. Okay, so and then the last thing I wanted to say about keeping your blood sugar steady, if like say you did eat more carbs than typical or something like that, Another way to lower that so that you don't necessarily have the crash that that you would normally get is to go for a walk. So it's like a way to clear the glucose out of your system. So
What are your thoughts on like protein bars? I forgot to ask that during the protein.
that's
Or
fine.
like cereal bars, stuff like that.
Cereal bar, I mean, look at
Yeah.
the nutrition information, but your typical cereal bar is going to have not much protein, probably not much fiber, or at least not enough to make it worthwhile, and then probably quite a bit of added sugar.
Okay.
Um,
But like the Cliff bars, that's more protein bars, right?
So there are, Clif bars usually do have more protein.
Okay.
Now you are gonna find a lot of sugar in that. I mean, I feel like, because of the sugar, sometimes, it's maybe not the best choice, but at least the protein content in it helps
Yeah.
to counteract it, yeah.
Do you have any bars that you recommend or that you particularly think are good?
I think it depends what you want. Like if you're looking for something that's an actual meal replace, like that's all you're gonna eat, or just something as
More
like a little snack.
As a snack.
There's probably some better stuff out there. I know for me, the one thing like with the Kind bars, or
Yeah.
Aldi's has a knockoff version of them that are good. But the nice thing about you have to look, but a
Okay.
lot of the Kind ones, they keep the sugar low to like
Okay.
maybe 5 grams or less. But again, they're not gonna have a whole lot of protein with it. I would have to really go look
Okay.
on a nice good protein bar that has a lot of protein without a whole lot of added sugar as well.
So, like, if you're looking at the bars, what do you want the sugar below? Like 5 grams or less? Or like,
I mean, that would be awesome. It's pretty hard to find,
Okay.
but yeah, I would say definitely 10 grams or less if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then with the protein, do you want it at like,
At least 10 grams
Okay.
to make it worthwhile, but honestly, if you're looking at it as like, I really want this to tide me over,
yeah,
I would say like 15 or more.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah, but I have noticed there's a lot more, like more natural things out there
Okay.
on the shelves these days, so there's probably a good one out there. I
Okay.
just haven't taken the time to
Yeah.
really look.